Well, football doesn't stop, and now we have to turn our attention to the UCL round of 16. And boy, do we have some big game. We have the Benfica, Barcelona, which last time it was one of the best games I've ever seen. We have the Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid. We have the Battle of the Bayerns. There's all kinds of games. PSG against Liverpool. Man, all the stories that are going to come out, and I'm going to give you all my predictions, and I'm going to give you exactly what is going to happen in all of these games. And boy, do I have a lot of dogs this round of 16. And I think it's really going to shape up for the big dogs, which is Barcelona and Liverpool, because I think some of the teams that are going to be eliminated in this round is going to be very, very surprising. Like the UEFA Champions League is always kind of surprising. But before I get to that, I want to say one thing. I wish the UCL or UEFA would do a much better job, at least here in the US. The games are at the same time. I wish they would spread it out a little bit throughout the day instead of having all the games at the same time. It looks like they only give you one game, and like in this case, tomorrow is going to be Bruges against Aston Villa, and that's going to be at 9:45 a.m. And then the rest of the games are at the same time. I think they should spread it out a little bit more. That would probably bring up the viewership as well. Let me know down in the comments if you think that's a crazy idea or if you actually agree with me, because it gets me to think. All these beautiful games got me thinking that I can't watch all the games, and that is kind of a shame, kind of disappointing as a product if we can't really watch the games, right? But anyways, we are going to start the very, very, very first game, which is Club Brugge versus Aston Villa. I am just gonna go ahead and say it. This is gonna be closer than people think. If we look at the table, Club Brugge was the last team that that qualified to the next round, but they did a surprise because they beat Atlantia, and they were the team that barely had to play the playoffs at the number 9 spot. The Aston Villa was the eighth. That was the last team that qualified and that had a free ticket that didn't have to play in Atlanta. If you can see it, by 1 point. And now they find themselves eliminated by Club Brugge, who is peaking at the right time and is playing great, great, great team football. And I think this is going to be a very, very close game. Remember, Aston Villa is a team that got new players, and Marcus Rashford is one of them. And it looks like that transfer is working for them. It's working now. He's scoring goals and he's scoring assists. So this is a very, very 50-50 for me, to be really, really honest with you. The difference to me in this series is going to be coaching, and I think Unai Emery is one of my favorite coaches, and I think he's gonna have enough rabbits out of his hat to be able to advance against Club Brugge, who is gonna give him all that he can handle. Next up, we're gonna have Borussia Dortmund against Lille. This is another close one, and I wish I could see this game. I am not going to, however, because I am going to be watching Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid. And why do I want to see the Borussia Dortmund against Lille? Well, because the winner of this game is potentially going to play Barcelona or Benfica. And of course, I'm rooting for Barcelona, and I'm counting on Barcelona to advance, and is going to play one of these two teams. So I'm probably going to end up watching this game post, after on another day where there's no games or something. I'm probably gonna go back to that one and watch it. Now, I do think that Lille is going to be the surprise, and it's my dark horse, and it's not a coincidence. They kind of do have a logo that kind of looks like a horse, but they are the dark horse of this UEFA Champions League. They beat Real Madrid. They also beat Bayern Munich. This team even beat Feyenoord 7-1. That is crazy. Feyenoord is one of the top teams in this competition this year, and it is a crazy game. I think they have enough. I know Borussia is gonna have a great yellow wall, and their stadium is gonna be nuts. It's gonna be crazy, but I think Lille can get a draw. They have a very good defense. Borussia Dortmund has the crowd and the yellow wall. Lille has a literal wall as a defense, and they are an amazing defense and very, very disciplined team. And they are going to get this draw, and they're going to take it back to France and close it out by one goal difference. As far as Arsenal versus PSV, I think this is another close one. I think Arsenal just has too much to lose, too many eggs on their basket. I think they're gonna have to just put everything, all the resources they have to be PSV. They have to go away. They have to go to PSV, and I think they're gonna get a 2-1 victory over PSV away from home, and then they're gonna go back in London and actually win at home very comfortably. And I think Arsenal, there's no surprises. They are going to be the ones who are advancing to the next round. Next up, we have Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid. This is a crazy game. This is going to be nuts. First, they have to play in the Bernabeu, and then the next game is going to be at Atletico Madrid. And I think that is very underrated. Wherever you close, it is being studied. And it's very well known that whichever team has the closeout game at home, they have the advantage in the series, and I think that is going to be enough for Atletico Madrid to finally get over the hump on Real Madrid. Let's remember, every single time Real Madrid has gotten the better of Atletico Madrid. This time, however, Atletico Madrid is different, and the only difference maker they have, for me to say this, his name is Julian Alvarez. He seems to have everything. He seems to be anointed by the football gods because every major competition he wins it. He won the UEFA Champions League already with Manchester City. He won the World Cup. He won the Finalissima. He won everything. The Copa America as well with Argentina. He has won absolutely everything, and I think he can be the difference maker. He's been very, very consistent, and I think Real Madrid is being quite the opposite. Real Madrid has not been consistent, neither at home or away. You don't know if Vinicius Jr. is going to show up. You don't know if Rodrigo is going to show up. The only consistent thing that they have right now is actually Kylian Mbappé and Jude Bellingham. And this could be why this series is going to be close, but not close enough. I think the first game at the Bernabeu, Atletico Madrid, will give Real Madrid a lot of problems with those transition plays with Julian Alvarez, Anthony Griezmann, Angelito Correa, so many players and so many rotation players that come in and play so well for this team. Sorlat been scoring in the Champions League left and right. So I think they have enough to go past Real Madrid in the Bernabeu, and then at home they will just set up a wall and play with a low block like Simeone can only do, and he's a master at that. And I think he can get a draw at home after beating Real Madrid at the Bernabeu tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific time here in LA. That brings me to the Wednesday games. Feyenoord at 9:45 versus Inter. This is going to be nuts. This game is going to be crazy. I am picking, however, Feyenoord. I'm taking a dog. I know they're not favored. The favorite is Inter Milan, and I know they have Lautaro Martinez. They have an amazing defense. Feyenoord is a team that literally gave their striker to Milan, that just beat Inter in the Italian Cup. They gave their striker before they rip their necks out. And I think Feyenoord will do a back-to-back bloodbath with Italian clubs. They will beat them away and they will beat them at home. And this is going to be the big surprise. And you guys are going to look back and think that I'm crazy right now, but then you guys look back and say, maybe I was into something here. Feyenoord over Inter. Now that brings me to the Battle of the Bayerns. Battle of the Bayerns for me, boils down to coaching, and company has been very shaky this season. And I don't think, this is his first season anyway. He's not playing very consistent. This team has played well, has played bad, has been great teams but lose to Feyenoord, been lose to a bad team then beat a good team. So in this case, Bayer Leverkusen is very, very consistent. They have a lot of great players, but most importantly, Xavi Alonso as a coach has never lost to Bayern Munich, and I think at Munich they can get a draw and they can get him at home. When they get the home game, they will beat Bayern the Munich by 1 goal, and that is going to be enough to get them past that round. Now that brings me to my favorite team, my favorite game of the week, which is Barcelona versus Benfica. One thing I want to say though, being very unbiased about this game. There's a lot of things that interest me, especially Benfica has not had a game for 7 days before this Barcelona match, and Barcelona it's only on 3 days rest. La Liga changed Barcelona's game from Saturday to Sunday, so that gave him one less day to rest for this game, which is unbelievable. I don't know how they allowed to just do whatever they want, but that would be something to look at. And I think Barcelona has a lot of issues in the beginning of games and at the end of games, and Benfica has to come out with a big, big, big sense of urgency. They can get a goal, maybe they can get 2 goals on Barcelona in the first half, and then now we are going to see a series for the ages, right? But if they don't do that, if Barcelona can just weather the storm at the beginning of this game, and Pedri can take control of the midfield and start cooking with Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, Lewandowski, or Ferran, whoever they put in, and once Dani Olmo starts linking them up, it's over for Benfica. Barcelona will go away after this game because we are playing at Benfica. Barcelona will win this game 3-1. I think Benfica gets 1 goal in the first half, and just Barcelona just takes over in the second half and will end up winning this game fairly comfortably. And then after that, in Montjuic, Barcelona will just run away and just play. Benfica will have to play catch up. They have to open up. In Barcelona, they're the killers that they are in this season, and that will come back to hunt Benfica, and they're not gonna have enough firepower to beat this offense. That's just plain and simple. Now another game of the week, and this is my issue. This is my issue with this UEFA Champions League. Why do you have so many good games at the same time? Put them at a different time. Get more views. Get more sponsorships. What are you doing? Now, PSG against Liverpool. PSG is on a roll right now. And any other time I would have said PSG, they're just going to flop. They're just, we all know what PSG is. They're never going to win a Champions League. But one thing I have to say though, PSG has won 6 out of the last 6 Champions League matches, and that counts for something in this kind of competition. They have not faced a team like Liverpool, and Liverpool, they are the best. They're the top dog. They're number 1 spot, number 1 seed, whatever you want. But they're not gonna have it easy, guys. This is a tough game, but I think Liverpool has enough to beat on both legs. Let's be honest. Just they're so balanced. They're so good on defense, so good in the midfield, so great attacking with Mo Salah, with Luis Diaz. They have a team that is just a force. This team is just too much. They're gonna suffocate PSG. PSG has a great midfield. PSG has a great offense with Dembele. Dembele is playing like he wants to rip the Ballon d'Or and be in the Ballon d'Or conversation. And if he wants to do that, this is the game to do it, man. This is the game to do it. You can do it here, then you will have a conversation for the Ballon d'Or. But I think Mo Salah will have something to say. I think Liverpool beats them at home in France. When I said at home, I mean PSG. They're playing at PSG, and then they got to go back and play at Liverpool. So Liverpool will beat PSG in France. This game will be, I would say, probably a 3-2 game. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be a crazy game. A lot of offense, a lot of goals. And then when they go, never walk alone. Liverpool will be comfortably PSG 3-0, 2-0. This is not going to be as close as people think. I think it's going to be a show. You know, PSG will score goals, but at the end of the day, Liverpool's going to do what Liverpool does and is one of the best teams, and I have them going all the way to the final. Let me know down in the comments what are your thoughts, what are your ideas, did I change your mind on anything, or am I just a crazy person ranting on YouTube? Just you can let me know, let it all out. I'm going to read all the comments and reply to every single one of you. Until next time.